Hello, hello! Happy Monday! Thanks for coming in, everyone. Hope you had a great day today and a great weekend. Thanks for coming in. We are starting block 94 of the Splendid Sampler Quilt Along. It looks like a nice, quick applique project. So we'll get all the applique pieces ready tonight and pick our fabrics. I haven't picked any of the fabrics for this yet. So we can take a look through the bin, see what's left of my fabrics for the Splendid Sampler Quilt Along, and pick what we might think is cute for the skyline here. Thanks replay viewers for coming in, and thanks YouTube viewers for watching. This will go up on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies. I'm a little late on getting things up on there, but I'm hoping to get started again tonight to be on track for those. And it will also stay here on Facebook at Penguin ampersand Fish if you search for that page. And that's where this will live. So, all right, guys, I'm going to flip you around and we'll get going. Hi, Gina. Hello, hello, everyone. So here we are, block 94. We are getting up there, guys. 6 more after this. Then we have done all the blocks for the Splendid Sampler Quilt Along. Find out more at thesplendidsampler.com. Right now, the blocks are still free. So I think you have about mid-February to get the blocks for free still before it gets put into the Splendid Sampler book that will be coming out, which is on pre-order right now. I haven't gotten mine yet, but I'm going to order it soon. I definitely want to get a copy of it just to kind of preserve this whole time that we spent together a little bit. So, all right, let's get started on this block. I think we'll be able to finish this one maybe even today. I'm not sure, but, all signs point to yes sort of thing. So then we'll have Tuesday and Wednesday to work on other blocks, which would be amazing since I am I 13 behind now or just 12? I think I might be only 12 behind still, meaning I'm out of the teens still, so that's nice. So we'll have hopefully at least most of tomorrow and Wednesday to work on other blocks still before New Block Thursday. So, all right, let's get started. If you're new here, my name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we create lovely and quirky hand embroidery patterns and kits. I'm the author of Sew and Stitch Embroidery and a fabric designer, and I'm here every weeknight at 9:30 p.m. Central for crafty time, and we've been working through the Splendid Sampler Quilt Along exclusively, really, since February of 2016. So, since Valentine's Day last year, basically. So we're coming up to the end here of it soon. 6 more blocks, plus all my unfinished blocks, and turning into a quilt. But I'm hoping to start bringing in other crafts again, like knitting and embroidery and whatever you guys want to try out here. We've done some darning before and painting. Time to mix it up again after this project's done. So this is a long project. All right. Now to it. I'm going to flip you guys around. We'll get going. Okay. So here is my bin of fabric. And we will decide. I have no idea. I haven't thought about what I want to do for this yet. A lot of it is going to be based on how much fabric I actually have left, since we are reaching the end of the Splendid Sampler and I don't have, well, this one would work. I don't have many pieces of fabric where I can cut a 6.5-inch square or these long strips out of anymore. So we'll look around. I do have a few, but some of them are getting kind of stingy on me. So we'll figure that out, and then we can choose some stuff together. To start out, I am going to prep these pieces for the applique process. I'm going to do just how they have here with the raw edge applique. So I have some of my paper-backed fusible web here. Right now I'm using Heat and Bond Light. We have used Wonder Under here before, and we've talked a lot about Steam-A-Seam, which seems to be pretty popular with people. The best out of 3. I have not tested that one yet. Maybe I'll get to that sometime. I'll have to order some. But in the meantime, I'm using what I have in my studio. I'm just trying to use up all the things I have. So we're going to use this Heat and Bond light. I have this tiny little piece left. I think I might be able to get a few pieces out of it. So I am putting the rough side down. That's the side with the glue, the fusible web, and the rest has, the other side has paper on. So I'm going to trace each one of these. I need to trace 2 of each building. So there's 2 of each building here, kind of mixed up. I'm going to trace onto the paper side of my fusible web. I'm going to leave at least like a 1/16 inch to an 1/8 inch around all my pieces, though that's important for when we cut it out later. Ooh, this is kind of a rolly piece of Heat Bond light. It wants to keep rolling up on me. So there was I read through these instructions, and there was one interesting thing that I haven't done really before, and she was saying that when she appliques this on with her machine, she likes using 2 strands. I'm going to just throw a second one of those right away. She likes using 2 strands of thread in her machine at once, and I haven't really done that before, so I thought that might be fun to try. She uses a straight stitch. I think I might do a zigzag stitch. I'm a little concerned about getting these super straight edges, which, because I'm doing it in this method and not cutting perfect strips, I'm tracing these applique pieces. I'm not positive that I'll have perfectly straight things that bump up against each other nicely. So I thought I'd, you laid your ruler along the side. That's a good idea. Do I have one of those nearby? Yeah. All right, let's do that. That's some thinking, Marianne. Let's do that. But I'm not all that confident that I'll be able to cut these perfectly so they lay next to each other perfectly. So I thought instead of a straight stitch, I would do a zigzag stitch around the whole thing. Right, I don't think I can get that tall one, but I can probably get these out of it. So instead of a straight stitch like how she recommends, or how she does it in her instructions, Stacey Lowe, the designer, I think I'm going to zigzag in between each building. That will kind of cover up any mistakes. But this is a good idea with the ruler. That would go much faster too. We'll just shimmy that down quick. Yeah, this is quicker. So smart, you guys. Next time your mother comes to see you, ask her to, oh, please bring some blues to share. I know, right? I'm almost, I had to steal some blues from her, but luckily she gave me permission. I would have felt bad if I just took them. And she didn't let me take all of them. She wanted to keep some of those blues, so she's being pretty generous because I think she wanted to keep them, so she was being very nice and letting me use some for my quilt. But yeah, I kind of always intended this to be kind of like a blue feeling quilt, and I had a little bit of yellow and red in as accents and white, or what I thought would be accents, but during the first 50 blocks, I was realizing after like laying them out that it was feeling a lot. It wasn't really having this blue feel overall. It was having a feel of, the blue, red, and yellow and all of it. So for this second half, I've been trying to get more blues in it, so when it's done, it feels blue overall. So I was running out of blues, so Mom let me have some of hers. That was nice. We haven't laid them out in a long time, though. I didn't do that over the holidays. I just kept the whole thing boxed up. I don't think I took out the project at all. I brought it with me home for the holidays, but didn't take it out. I was going to lay out all our blocks. So, I could use the ruler and the rotary cutter. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe we'll use the rotary cutter to cut them out. That's a good idea. I think we'll do that. at least for these edges. Then they'll match up a little bit better. I'll probably just trim these by hand maybe, but I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, you know what, a rotary cutter would be a good idea. All right, I'm missing 2 buildings. Oh, the 2 tall ones. So let's, I gotta unwrap some more of this stuff. All right, well, I definitely don't need this giant thing of plastic anymore. I must have used a lot of this at one time to have this much. Like, I have like a yard of used stuff before. All right, let's just get the last 2 out of here. I think we'll unroll it a little bit more and use the ruler to draw it on again. So I don't have my big cutting board out here today because I didn't think we would need it. I figured the only thing I would need to cut would be smaller than 8 inches. And I got my new little mini cutting board, so I thought I'd get that out and we'll use that to cut on instead. So that's fun for me. I don't have to get out my giant cutting board. It's a little hard to see. There we go. Just have to press it down a little bit more. Alright, I think right like that. Ooh, I'm a little off there. Let's kind of rotate that a little. Line up my line a little bit better. All right, that's looking better. Okay. And I'm just gonna draw across instead of using a ruler. It's too much work to move everything around. All right, 1 more of those, and then we'll be good to go. Then we can we'll cut these out and then start choosing some fabrics. I don't know. I had a little bit of a thought of what I wanted to do. Like, it'd be fun to have like that golden sky again, and like it's evening in the city or something. Or the other one, I thought that blue with the paint marks on could be like an early afternoon color. I don't know. We'll look at those. I'm just trying to think of the fabrics that I have enough fabric for the background square. You know, I need a 6.5 inch size square to put these on. All right, let's get this out of here. So I'm cutting it about a 16 inch to an 1/8 inch away from the edges too. And you know, I'm not being careful about it. I'm just doing it really quick. All right, roll that up. I don't need him anymore. Okay. So let's get these other pieces cut out, and then we'll be ready to pick fabric then. So I'm just kind of going in the middle so I don't. So I have my 2 edges. All right, those are 2 skyscrapers. We'll just start cutting all these out vertically. This edge out of here. Oop, there's more than I thought. Oh well. I have plenty. I'll just toss that a little bit. Oop, getting a little close to the side there. It's nice to pepper in these really quick little applique projects as we go along here in the Splendid sampler. You know, we got all those long paper piece ones, and then it's nice. It's nice to have the long ones that you spend more time on, and then I'm just going to go up like that for now. Then we can get that sense of getting things done really quickly with some of these shorter ones, faster ones. You know, I suppose you could take your time on this. You could needle turn all this, and it'd be really cute too. Then it would be a longer project. Then it would be more of a sit in front of the TV project. Okay, so we got all our guys out of here. So let's remember, you know, we got a background, and then all these, we got 6 different skyscrapers here. So let's think about our fabric for this. So here we go. I'll just pull some things out of here. You know, like, well, this might be long enough still. Maybe I do have more fabric than I think. You know what? I'm gonna just pull everything out of here. How about that? Oh yeah, see, like some like this, I don't have much left of. I do still like the idea of this like golden sky, but you know, I still want to keep to the blues and stuff too. Maybe I still do this. This is the one that I was talking about that I thought I had enough fabric left. So I can, this I can get a 6.5-inch square out of still. Like we could do this. I'm just totally winging it here. So if you guys have any ideas, let me know. This is how I usually pick fabric. I kind of lay it out and replace things and see how it goes. So I'm laying this out as if it's my 6.5-inch guy here. And then I'm just kind of folding up some fabric as if it's a skinny, rolling it up as if it's one of our little, ooh, that's cute already, one of our little buildings here. So I'm just going on the idea of what if I do a lot of blues. We'll just get a sense of what that might look like, and then we can decide if we like that or replace things. The one thing I'm a little worried about, I know, doesn't this just feel like nail polish? I kind of love it. To me, for the skyscrapers, this sky represents like a nice, fresh morning right before, you know, when there's still a little pink in the sky, and then it goes to that pretty light blue, and, you know, everything's still kind of silhouetted a little bit. That's kind of how I'm seeing this. The only problem I can see happening is that this is that really kind of fine, gauzy fabric that I have. So I might want to spray this a whole lot with starch just to make it have a little bit more heft so it can take all the sewing a little bit more. I'm a little worried about the sewing of this one. But I kind of want to risk it almost because I think that's really pretty back there. I love this blue here. This would be fun to have this in. Maybe we just stick with blues. We just do a whole blue skyline here. This one's pretty. This one's got that tie-dyed stuff going on. Maybe we want to mix it up a little though. I thought this one would be neat. Ooh, I got it. This is the one. This is the fabric that I have a ton of. You know what? I'm going to even just cut a piece off of this for us. I have too much fabric of this to like look at. Do you have the blue with the dots left? Let's see. So I need 6 of these. I thought this one was fun because it looked like little windows. So that's kind of neat. Let's pepper that in. Let's just throw that there. Let's see, what other blues? Here, I'm going to scoot you guys over here a little bit. All these blues. Oh, we do have kitties. We could do kitties yet. Let's pull that out here. Let me just grab some of the blues. Oh, this would be a good skyscraper. It's like scaffolding. Okay, this one's gonna be a skyscraper that they're in the process of building. This is an unfinished skyscraper. This is just the scaffolding. I think we gotta have this one in here. Even though it really jumps out compared to the rest, but I kind of like it. I think it's kind of fun. They're building this one. So, all right, we have 6 right now, but let's see what else we have to play with. You know, I don't want to use these whites. I think they blend too much in there. Ooh, not enough of that fabric. Kitties would still be fun, though. What else do we got? Oh, this looks really skyscrapery with this pattern. Ooh, and we have enough of this yet. I think we should use this, too. All right. So, clearly, we have too many skyscrapers right now. I'm gonna take some away. Let's err on the side for right now with the ones that look like buildings with the texture. I kind of like that. You could piece your background with muslin scrap. You know, that's true. I was thinking about that too. I do have some muslin left over here. But I don't use this really any other place in the quilt. And, you know, I thought about that too, because really we don't need this full piece back here. Or, you know what, I could, you know, or I kind of get what you're saying. So I could, I figured out what you're saying now. I could have a piece of this and then just have, sew a piece of this to the top, because most of it's covered up, right? So I only really need a piece this big. I could do that. I mean, that's not a bad idea at all. Maybe I do that. You know, my machine's set up. That'd be a good idea. That might be fun just to try anyway. So I'll measure a piece that's just this big, you know, plus, you know, a seam allowance, and just cut that out of this. Then I'll have some of this fabric left over because I don't have a lot of it. And then I'll just put a muslin piece on the bottom. I think, yeah, that's a great idea. I think I'm going to do that. The muslin shrinks a little, but I think we'll be okay. So, all right, these pieces don't need to belong here. I do like the idea of these textured looking ones. So let's keep paging through here. What do we got? Oh, we got clouds. That'd be pretty funny. I don't know if that really fits, but I kind of like it. Oh, this is really textury too. We could, I haven't used this one in a while either. And it looks like we have plenty of it. Wow, I have more fabric than I thought I did, I think. Oh, see this one, I love this one, but this one I don't have enough of, I don't think. Nah. None of that one, too bad. It's one of my favorites. But this one I think we could definitely fit in somewhere. So what do we got? I like these three. That's pretty textury. All right, that's 4. I don't know, maybe we gotta add some kitties just because. A kitty skyscraper. There, I could fussy cut so like one of those guys is there. That might be too close to this, but maybe not. I think I like it. We could bring another bright piece maybe. These are all a little duller compared to this, so maybe we should kind of stay in that realm. Maybe just this textured one, and that'd be a good way. Although this tie-dyed one is pretty cute too. I wonder if this fits. You know what? I kind of like this little speckled one. All right, you know what? I'm thinking I'm liking this. I kind of like this order too, even. Yeah, I kind of like it just like this. Oh, maybe I don't like though. Maybe this one needs to be more in the middle. Or maybe not. Maybe it's fine on the side. Then it's not called out as much. I think let's leave it like this. I like it, and I'll do that piece, that thing where I piece the top together. So okay, done. At some point, you just got to move on, right? So all right, I'm gonna throw everything back in my bin. Ooh, let's get some muslin out though to do that that little muslin piece. So this is all my fabric. So I think I'm gonna use any fabric that I have left. You know, here's my bin right there. So any fabric that I have left after after I'm done with all the blocks, I think I'm going to use on the back of my quilt. So I will just use up all of the fabric. I'm gonna, yeah, use them on the back of the quilt. So all right, I'm going to do the background last, I think. So I'm just gonna put the muslin, and I kind of want to leave these in the same order. I like it. Oh wait a sec, I lost one. Ah man, I put one away. Like there's only 5 buildings here. Hold on. So it was that speckled blue. So let me see if I can find that again. There we go. There's my building. Funny. All right, let's get that out of here. There we go. Then it was these 3 and then this guy. All right, I'm just trying to keep the order here. Okay. So this is the order of the buildings. So this will be a test to see if the ones that we chose work. So this one's going to be a long one. This one's going to be one of these stair-stepped buildings. Another long one. This one's a pointy one, so the kitty one will be pointy. What's this? A pointy one that goes here. And this other stair-step one is at the end. All right, perfect. So I am going to fuse these on, and we will cut them out, and then we will work on the background piece here. So let's do that quickly. I'm just gonna keep them. I'm gonna keep them in order just so I don't get confused. So that's the plan here. All right. First things first. So I gotta remember, I have forgotten this a couple times while working on the Splendid sampler. I need to press them on the wrong side of the fabric. So I thought I'll go right here where I am. This will just end up being a scrap. So I think my fabric is, or my iron is warm enough. So you know what? I didn't preheat the fabric, which I probably should have done, but I think I'll be okay. So I'm just gonna hold that over my my heat and bond, the paper side. So I leave the paper side up, and I'm putting the rough side, which is the glue side, down. And I only on this one sampler here, I've only used the heat and bond light one other time, and it worked a little different than the Wonder Under. So I'm just hoping it sticks all right. That'll be the challenge. It was not sticking well, and it's pretty old. I've had this for a long time, so I don't have 100% confidence in this heat and bond, but it's what I have right now, so I'm using it. You know, I'm wary of taking it off yet. I want to leave it on this a little bit longer, I think. So there's a little balance, and it depends on what you're using to how long to leave your iron on. So you should be able to pick up the edges. When we take the paper off of here, that's when we'll know if we've had the heat on long enough. So I think we're probably good here. Before I take it down, just because I have a lot of fabric here, I'm going to just trim it really quickly. You know, I could take the rotary cutter to this right away, but I like trimming it out of the fabric because I'm going to cut on these lines, and I don't want to keep the fabric that has the rest of it on, the rest of this edge, because it's going to have that glue on, and I don't want to accidentally iron over it. So I want to throw it away when I'm done. So that's why I kind of cut it out so that I have like the pure fabric here that doesn't have any of the glue on it potentially. So all right, this first one's ready. We need to trim it out again, but it's glued down. So let's keep moving on. All right, this one's next. This is just a tall building. Let's see, where can we get it out of here? Does it fit right here? Nope. What about right here? This would be nice if it fit. Oh, it doesn't really fit. Oh, it almost does. Let's see. Oh, if I trim my paper just a hair, then I think we'll be good. We'll trim it a little there. Ultimately, we're going to cut with the fabric scissors along the line, so I don't need a lot of this. I just need enough to make that nice fabric scissors cut. So I think if I do that, I'm going to fit on this fabric tucked in this spot here. Yeah, so that's good. We'll go up even a little higher there. Just because I think there's a little nick on the bottom. But there we go. That's just about perfect. Okay, so let's hold it there again. Oh gosh, I just panicked. Is this the right or the wrong side? But it's the wrong side. I must have been really tired that one day because twice in the same period of time I glued it to the front side instead, and you need to glue it, press it to the wrong side of the fabric. But now I always have like a mini panic of like, oh, did I put it on the right or the wrong side? All right, maybe a little bit longer. So Yeah, on the instructions it says like 5 to 10 seconds, but I always feel like it needs a little longer usually. All right, well, we'll see how that does. Again, I'm going to just trim it out of here. There, we still have a lot of fabric left. That's kind of nice. All right, so that's our second piece. We'll trim that out. Nice. Oh, this is cool. This is like some wacky architectural building where some architect went crazy, making weird windows and bump outs and stuff. I like it. All right, next up is our little strip. Okay, so this one's it's still difficult to tell the right and wrong side. The wrong side is up right now. Let's see if we can fit this in close to the top here. That looks pretty good. This is a stair-steppy one. Stair-steppy building. Yeah, so next up we will, after I'm done pressing all these papers on, we will trim them and take the paper backings off of them, and that will reveal the other side of the glue. Then we can go over, we'll cut our fabric for the background and head over to the sewing machine and get that done right away too. All right, again, not quite sure if that was on long enough. You know what, it's kind of peeling off. Let's give that a little bit more. Oh, I can start to smell it. This is old Heat and Bond. I'm kind of thinking it might be past its prime. I'm not sure. It is pretty old. It's got to be like maybe 6 years old, 6 or 7 years old. I don't know. I wonder what the shelf life of these paper packed webs are. I never really thought about it before. All right. This guy's up next. So this one I'd like to be, you know, the direction of these lines, like these vertical lines. So I got to find a spot where it fits. I think right here might do the trick. I'll have a little scrap left over, but that's okay. Okay, right there will do. So hold that there for another 10 seconds or so. And 2 more after this, and then we're ready to trim them out and see how we do on that. I like this fabric. I feel like I've been saving it. I haven't used it in a while, but now is not the time to save it anymore with only 6 blocks left. It's crazy talk. 6 blocks. Can't believe I made it through this project, or you know, I'm at the point where I'll make it through, you know. I'm not used to big, long projects like this, but it's been super fun. All right, let's trim this guy out, and then we'll use the rotary cutter to get the straight lines. This isn't the best at sticking. I don't know how this is gonna. Oh, it's just the paper already coming off. The glue is on there. All right, weird. Okay, next up, the kitties. So this, I kind of want to make sure I get a kitty head in here somewhere, but I also don't want to waste a ton of fabric. So can I go here? If I go here, oh yeah, let's go right here, because then I'll get this kitty head and this upside down kitty, which will be kind of funny. Yeah, we're gonna go right there. Fussy pressing, I suppose. You're gonna be in my way, scissors. Oops, sorry. Bumped the camera there. All right, we're doing okay on time. I'm not sure if we'll get the final sewing of it down, but I'm thinking we'll get at least the rest of the way. Maybe we'll still have time to sew. We'll see how it goes. I think this is the putziest part of it right now. All right, you know what? We're gonna just hope that that's okay. I'm gonna just trim this, and I'm gonna just cut it to the line here. Actually, we'll just go right up like this. All right, so we'll get a few kitty heads in there. All right, last one, and then we will wrap up these buildings. Ooh, I like this fabric. I haven't used this fabric in a while either. Where can I save fabric in here? You know what? I think that's as good as a spot as any. Maybe we go this way. This one again, I kind of want to go with the building. Maybe we can get these little edges in the building too. That doesn't look likely. We'll go right there. Again, here, I'm going to just trim this off a little bit more. It's a little too much glue edge. Do I have any funny edges here? Nope, I think we're good. Okay, let's do that. Last one. Alrighty. I like all these ones with the texture, so it kind of feels like a building. I had more of those than I thought I did, texture, building, feeling blues. And I'm happy that this is still going to have that blue feel, this black, when I'm done. All right, you know what? We're calling it. That one's fine. Let's trim that out. I still have a lot of this fabric too. Time to start using up these favorites. I really like this fabric. Haven't used it in a while. Okay, done with all of those blue fabrics. All right, back down here. All right, let's start trimming these out. So I think I'm going to just use the scissors for these shorter edges, and I'm going to do those first, and then I'll go back and cut those long edges. So let's just start here. I'm going to still try and keep these in order to the best I can. So I'm going to place them back in the same place, otherwise I'll just get confused at what went where. So these, in theory, I could fussy cut, or not fussy cut, I could cut with the rotary cutter too, but I think just one nice straight cut with the scissors will do it too. Or it'll get close enough. At least with the rotary cutter on these long ones, it'll still butt up against each other. So I'm gonna go ahead and do those right away. I'm gonna do the whole process for the one. Okay. Oh, I can use my turntable too to twist it to the other side. All right, that's lined up pretty well. So now we're cutting on that line. So that's why we wanted to go a little bit over when we cut it out initially, because then it gives us the ability to cut through both pieces and get like a perfect line here. All right, my watch band got funny here. All right, now we can rotate around. Switch these guys over. All right, let's get this other guy. Oops. So now in theory, now that I'm thinking about it, these should all be an inch big because there's 6 of them and it's a 6-inch block ultimately. So I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna put my ruler right on the inch, and I'm gonna err on the side of my ruler versus my drawn lines. Yeah, because I'm a little further over than the line, but I think I'll have a better kind of inch. Yeah, so, okay, so here is our first one, and I'm gonna try and take off this paper right away too. So to take off the paper, I just like score it with an X. And I always pull from the inside out. If you pull from the outside in, which is how I started when I did the Splendid sampler, it makes your edges all kind of rough. I mean, even more raw than it already is. So I'm going to pull from the center. And I know that the glue worked because the glue is sticking to the fabric. See how shiny it is? It's sticking to the fabric and not to the paper. So that is a good sign. That means I held it on the iron long enough. There. And this is definitely coming off better than the Wonder Under used to. But here's our first little building. Cute. All right, you know what? I don't want to wreck him, but I'll just be careful. So he can go right there. I'm going to just kind of stack these. You can go right there. Okay, next up. Again, I'm going to just take a scissors to these short ends because why fuss over them? I think I can cut a relatively straight line with the scissors. There we go. And we'll just do the ruler for these nice long edges. Okay, for the first cut, I'm using my line as a guide. But after that, I'm just cutting it an inch. I like my new turny guy. I don't really need it for this, but for other cutting, it's nice. All right, there's the 1 inch. All right, definitely like the idea of the rotary cutter. All right, let's get the backing off of here. Ooh, there we go. I was just thinking this one's not playing as well, but now it is. Now it's coming right off. There we go. All right. Oh, no sewing tonight, but making a sign. That sounds good. Making anything, that sounds good. All right, next up. All right, I'm going to actually trim this off too because this is a pretty good scrap that I can use yet, but I don't want that glue hanging out on it. All right, how do we cut these? I think we'll just do our best to cut it like this. So these are going to be covered with stitches. You know what? Maybe I won't do the zigzag stitch anymore. I think this would be tough to zigzag stitch all these little lines. Maybe I will just do a straight stitch. So in the instructions, she did a straight stitch with 2 strands of thread, 2 pieces of thread in her machine. So maybe I'll do that. I'll just do a straight stitch around all of them. That'd be pretty cute. But I'll use two pieces of thread. I haven't done that yet. It'd be a neat experiment. I'm trying to experiment as much as I can through the Splendid sampler here. Oh, that one wasn't a very good cut, but oh well. So this will be a new experience. So I'll thread 2 strands of the thread into my machine and see how that works. Okay, let's do the straight edges on that. That looks pretty good. I always close this when I'm done. All right, I'm not going to flip it. It's fine enough to flip like this. It's got that sturdy paper on. All right, now I'm going to measure my inch again. All right. Now let's do the crisscross in here. There, now Not all of the paperback webbings come off that easily. This one happens to be going pretty well. All right, he goes there. Oh, look how cute they are. I think they're fun. It's the morning, so they all look a little silhouetted yet, and but all hair different. All right, let's use the rotary cutter again. So this is taking a bit of time. I'm not sure if we'll get to the sewing of it tonight, but we will hopefully get at least the background piece done. And maybe them all fused on, and then tomorrow we'll just have to sew them really quickly, and we'll have time for another project too, hopefully. Okay. 1 inch. Oh, they do look kind of fun against the wood, don't they? Yeah, that'd be pretty too. It's kind of like the yellow I have. It's not quite like that. Okay, let's do the X here. All right, easy peasy. Next is the kitties. I like this one. That looks like scaffolding. That looks like a legit building. these kind of markings on it. All right, kitty cat. Again, I'm gonna just trim off this as garbage and save that little scrap. All right, and other side. I'm making a lot of noise down my ruler. Or my scissors. Okay. Measuring that inch again. This was definitely easier with the rotary cutter. I'm glad that was suggested here. And I'm just using my stiletto to make the X. I mean, you could use a pin. That would work just fine too. All right. One left. Little kitties. I'm kind of wondering if I should flip these two. I suppose we'll rearrange in a bit. Well, I don't know. Let's try this quick. Just because there was a lot of darks over here and a lot of lights over here, so maybe we need to mix up the darks and lights. I think that's maybe a little bit better. Yeah, I think that's better. And then the kitty's looking in this direction too, which is nice. All right, last one. I really like this. I think it's really cute. All right, last little stair steppers on this guy. So if you have a nice fabric scissors, that's what you want to use for this to get nice sharp edges. Yeah, we're going to straight stitch around this. I think that'll be cute. Now that I don't have to worry about them butting up against each other because we rotary cut it all. Right. Garbage. Oops, please get back there. Alright. 2 more cuts and we are done with the buildings. think that cut all the way through. It felt funny. Dang. Okay. Measuring that inch again. Ooh, I think this is I think I made this a little crooked. It's leaning a little this way. That's scaffolding. Okay, here is our cute little skyline. That funny little one tucked into the end. Now maybe we do switch these two around. This is looking pretty, like these two colors blend in quite a bit, so maybe we do throw this guy back in the middle. Even though that's a lot of focus right there, but I don't know, I kind of like that. You know what, I think I liked it better before. We're going back. And we'll get a chance to lay this out on our final block too. I think it just called too much attention to itself. If it's on the side, you won't pay attention to it quite as much, I don't think. I like the subtlety of this one. It's got just those little squares. Okay, there is our skyline. It is so cute. All right, let's cut our background fabric out of here quick. All right. All this paper everywhere. All right, so I need, if I'm cutting it to fill this area, I'm gonna need at least, let's call it 3.5 inches. Actually 3.25 would probably do it, but that's a little, cutting it a little close. I'm gonna go with 3.5 inches. So I need a 6.5 by 3.5 inch bit here. And then do I need another 3.5 inches? Is that how it goes? What's 6.5? No, I need, yeah, 3.5 will yield a 3.25 inch piece. So that's right. So actually I can cut these both at once because I need a 3.5 inch by 6.5 inch piece of both of these. Ooh, now I'll be able to use my rotating guy. We'll cut it out here. All right, let's start out with a nice straight edge. Oh man, I'll be using up some of this fabric though. That's okay. That's what it's here for. So 3.5. Let's rotate it a little. I don't want to move my buildings. All right, now I need it to be 6.5. Ooh, you know what? I can cut this other edge out too. Just get this stuff out of the way. Experimenting with my rotating board here. All right, so another 3.5 inches. All right, so that's that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate it one more time around. Ow! I moved him. Okay, now I need a 3.5 inch piece out of here. Right, 3.5 inches and another 3.5 inches. When I sew them together, they'll each be 3.25 inch, and that equals 6.5 inches. So that, I think my math is right there. Yell out if it's not. Otherwise, we'll just have to I'll just recut a little bit of the muslin. But I think this is good. So okay, there's 3.5. Oops, I moved a little, but I think we'll be okay. All right, There we go. Don't need those fabrics anymore. We're off to the sewing machine. That's fun. Okay, so what we're doing now is, you know what, I'm going to press these really quick. I probably should have done that before I cut them, but we're going to sew these together really quick. And this is going to be the top of my skyline, and all the buildings are going to be over here, so that's why we just put muslin down here, so I didn't waste, you know, another 3.5 inches by 6.5 inches of this fabric. So I think that was a great idea. I definitely would have not done that on my own, so that's what I got you guys here for, all the good ideas. So, oh, and you know what? I was going to spray the heck out of this one, too. So maybe I'll just press this first. I'm spraying with starch this one just because it's so gauzy. It might cause me trouble in the applique process because it's so gauzy. But maybe not, since we're just doing a straight stitch. But nonetheless, I'm going to spray it down with starch, at least so it feels as, oops, I forgot I turned this off. This has been kind of leaking a little bit funny for me. Oh wow, all right. Not that one. There we go. There we go. Ooh, that's a lot. Oh well. Let's see if that works. That was kind of a lot. But I also wanted a lot on here. I just don't want to stain it with all my crazy stains on my board. Oh wow, it's drying really quickly though. I got that one wet spot on my board up there. Oh, it's really starchy. That was good. It's nice, and it did get really stiff here, so that's good. It definitely this definitely has more heft. Look, it's getting a hole in now too. It is definitely time for a new board. Oh man, it's pretty gross. All right, there we are. So now all we have to do is we'll quickly sew these together, and I'll press it flat, just so it can be as flat as possible versus pressing to a side. And then we'll lay this out and see, oh, you know what? We are getting close to the end of the time here yet, but I think we'll, I'd like to lay these out yet tonight. So we're going to go a hair over, I think, tonight. Let's just do this quickly. I don't know what the right and the wrong side of this is, so just because they're about the same. I'm going to hurry up. I want to get this, I want to get them laid out. And then tomorrow we will thread the machine. Oh wow, it already feels, this bottom piece feels like it's shrunk already. I don't know. We'll make it work. Oh, I suppose I should have did a starter and an ender, but oh well. We'll get one in here. Alrighty, let's trim that. I don't have my little scissors out. Alright, so it looks like I must have cut this muslin a little weird. It's a little short on both sides. I don't know how that happens. Like cut them both at the same time. But oh well. So let's press that quick. And you know what? I think I'm gonna bring the iron down here so we can press it and then lay out our buildings right away. So I'm gonna scooch these down, and we will come down this way. Scooch over here. All right, so let's press this. I'm gonna just press it to one side first to get started. So the one other thing with this is that we are placing all of our buildings a 1/4 inch from the edges. Oh, look, I have a nick out of here. Dang it. That's kind of a bummer. So I'll have to watch for that when I sew it together. Oh man, I almost wonder if I should pull it out and use it down here. I'm going to deal with it like that. But all these buildings get placed a 1/4 inch away. So I might just draw a 1/4 inch on here really quickly with a water-soluble marker. I think that might be helpful, just so I place things in the right spot. I really only need it on the bottom, the sides. So, all right, there we go. That's looking good. So I'm just gonna take my ruler quickly here. Let's see, how should I do this? I'm gonna make like a brain freeze. Let's grab this guy and just do a 1/4 inch, or from the other direction, 1/4 inch. Yeah, I messed up that muslin a little bit. I think that's probably the best we're gonna get it. So I'm just gonna put it on this lower half. So that's actually a little less than a 1/4 inch, but my thing is shrinking. All right, 1/4 inch up here. Let's get square first, though. I can tell it's getting late and we're a little past our time because my brain stops working and measurements don't function anymore. All right, one more for the baseline and then we'll be done here. I'll glue on the buildings quickly right now, and tomorrow we will sew them down and most likely work on another project. Do you think the gauzy material stretched when starched? It might have stretched a little bit. That one's actually measuring better. So I'm wondering if that little bit of ironing actually shrunk the muslin. That could have been, because I pressed it after I cut it, and that might have shrunk the muslin, which, oops, I was leaving it here, which kind of sucks, but oh well. All right, there is our, let's see if I can get that a little bit more over the top. Okay, let's get these guys laid out. There we go. So I'm using those water-soluble marks as my lines. Oh, it's fun on the background. So you know what, I suppose I could do these one at a time, but you know what, I'm gonna just do them all. Man, I wonder what the instructions say. Let's see if she suggests a way to do it. Iron on the applique margin, bottom of the side of the referred black. Okay, so it doesn't say to like lay them all out or do them one at a time. You know what if we do them 2 at a time? I'm just afraid of them moving away from me, so let's tack these guys down. We measured, so it should fit nicely. So all right, I'll put the iron on more in a bit, but I just wanna tack them down really. It's cute. I really like it. All right, let's do those 2. Seemed a little too dangerous pressing all of them at once. Thought for sure one would move then. All right, last 2. So putting it on that baseline, then lining up the building. Yeah, that one's cute. I like it. It's fresh morning, pink sky. All right, I'm a little shy of my 1/4 inch, but Well, it looks like I could have started a little further that way. But what you gonna do? This is how it is now. Alright, get the last two, and then I'll give this an overall just press. So I'm gonna do the same thing that I did earlier. I'm going to just hold it down for about 10 seconds. I know, I love it, Julie. It's so fun. It's the fresh morning New York sky. That's what this is with the kitty building. This is the kitty museum. And some crazy architectural place. And then some normal looking buildings. And then a scaffolding building. A building in progress. This is fun. I really like how this turned out. All right, so we still have to sew this down. And you know what? I think that's all I'm gonna do tonight here. I'll probably press this again before I sew it down tomorrow. Yeah, because see, it's already, this heat and bond, I don't know about it. It's not gripping very well. So I think we're gonna have to greatly rely on the sewing. I think my heat and bond light is just, I think it's just dead. I think it's time to, I might actually just toss it, and I might buy some Seam Steam so we can try that out. If there's another applique block, I don't know if there will be, but I might get some of that and just throw this away because this isn't like that should be sticking down there, and it's popping up. So I'm thinking I might trash it. It's old, and get some new stuff. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna flip you around, and we'll call it a night. Hello. So here we are. This is the cute little block. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. It's so funny. I like the blocks, but there's always a moment that I fall in love with it, and I just love these blues with the little pinks in the sky. It's raining gumdrops is what it's raining jelly beans. That's what's happening in New York. But all right, so we will finish this up like easy peasy tomorrow, and we'll pull out another block and see if we can get a little further on one of the unfinished ones. So, all right, guys, this will go up on YouTube tonight, and it will also stay here on Penguin and Fish. The YouTube is Penguin and Fish Movies. If you do a search, if you search for the Splendid Sampler or Block94, you'll find it as well. And it'll also live here on Penguin and Fish on Facebook. So that's Penguin & Fish if you want to do a search for it. And that's where you can do, if you want notifications for when I'm live, just like the page and then go to the three little dots and go to notifications and click on live, and it will only let you know when this page is live, so it's not beeping all over the place, just when we're live here. So that's the process of that. Good night, everyone. I will be back here tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. Central. Have a great evening. I appreciate you guys being here. Good night.